Hello, Julius.
Hello, how's it going?
And hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Eventprofs Together at Home. I'm Sabrina Myers from Hot Hospitality Exchange. I'm very, very excited today to have a very special guest, Julius, on Eventprofs Together at Home. Now, I want to say he needs no introduction, but he will give you an introduction to who he is. But Julius has been, I want to say, the voice of the events industry for quite a long time now, for as long as I know anyway. He is and has been a fantastic and incredible resource for all things events and all information. So we've never actually met face to face, I don't think. So this is the first time I am meeting him virtually, as I have been so many wonderful event profs around the globe with this series. So I'm going to hand it over now to Julius, who's going to introduce himself, where he is, what he does, and yeah, the situation for him right now. So over to you, Julius.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me, and thanks for doing this for the professional community. I guess everybody's very thankful for the great content you're pushing out, and these times of stress and craziness. I guess we appreciate a little bit of comfort and normality to see we're not in that alone. So thank you a lot for that.
Absolutely.
Very excited to be here. I'm Julius Solaris. I'm Italian, but I live here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, I've been running EventMB and managerblog.com for 13 years now. We've been acquired in September 2019 by Skift, one of the largest travel media companies out there. Yeah, I've been I guess the past 3 months of my life changed pretty much what I do as well. I guess as for everybody, um, we started talking mostly about event technology and event trends. That's kind of what EventMB is about. And obviously, we've been at the forefront of virtual events in the past 3 months, and suggesting that for event professionals, we've done many events online for event planners to help them sort of figure out what is happening. And yeah, I guess as everybody, I live day by day.
Absolutely. And so you work from home, as you've just said, you've been working from home for quite a long time now. So in regards to that, it's not a new situation for you. But I can only imagine you've been so busy creating these amazing experiences, keeping all of us event profs informed on, I have to say the P word, pivoting to virtual. And you know, it's just been really wonderful to have that as a resource. So how has your daily been? Has it been far busier than your normal daily, or can you give us an idea?
Yeah, I guess it's been interesting. As you mentioned, I quit my regular job in 2010 to kind of invest in EventMB as my business, and obviously I started working from home back then. So I don't know any type of other type of work for the past 10 years or so. I just barely started with Skift to go to the office in New York. But actually, our CEO, Rafa Ali, announced last month that we're giving away our office and we're becoming a fully virtual company.
Oh, wow.
So, there's not going to be that chance anymore other than, once in a while meeting with the team, but no office whatsoever. So yeah, I guess our team has always been virtual. We have people working in Spain, Italy, Colombia, Canada, Portugal, United States. So we've always had a distributed team for EventMB, and now with Skift, we have people in London and West Coast, East Coast, all over the place. So
it's truly global.
What's that?
It's truly global.
It is, and then we've been exercising with that quite a lot. So when the coronavirus crisis hit, I guess the major change for me was the world around me rather than my personal situation. So I couldn't go to restaurants and stuff like that. But as far as our daily routine, my wife works with me on the blog as well. So we're not, we haven't changed much. We're pretty much doing the same things that we've been doing. There's just more things to do.
But Las Vegas has opened recently, correct? It's all the, because I've just been seeing the media and sort of seeing a couple of different bloggers and vloggers that are starting to go visit the casinos because they're open again, and just sort of giving people an insight as to how it is. So it is all starting, or is it fully 100% everything is open, or is it just a
No, it's not fully open. I guess just a few hotels, the growing number of hotels. I don't know the exact percentage, but more than 50% sure on the strip open back. Capacity, I think it's limited, so they cannot go full capacity. But yeah, no, it's fully back to business, scarily so, I would say. Because there's there's two school of thoughts here in terms of how the coronavirus crisis is. There's those that are celebrating the herds of people sort of flooding the strip, and there's those like me that are extremely concerned of thousands of people wearing no masks, doing no social distancing whatsoever, in the same place. This is what is happening right now in Vegas. So,
I was quite shocked to see some of the footage. Like it looks exactly like it looked when I was there for IMAX not too long ago, last year, which is just bizarre, I think, to see.
It's bizarre and it's upsetting as well. If you, sorry if I jump into my pet peeves, but it is upsetting how, as event planners, we're getting so many regulations for events, and we don't know, it's all over the place. Planners in different countries are subjected to different crazy measures, and then you go out, and on the leisure side, it's essentially mayhem. They're doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
So it's just upsetting that they're shutting down and killing the industry, while you can still go to movie theaters and be in a room with 500 people.
Yeah,
so I really don't understand what is happening right now.
It makes no sense whatsoever. A very important question is right now, since your day to day is super busy. What are your 3 daily essentials right now?
Interesting. The first one was and is and will always be coffee. When I start in the morning, extreme amounts of it. So it's very form of espresso from my espresso machine, my Nespresso machine. So my companion. I have to switch to Nespresso to that. And so I'm not plugging anything there, but I'll talk freely about my preference, because of convenience. I really cannot do without that. I guess working out is really in my second essential, much as I try to. The fact that we're in the house a lot, it's kind of having an impact on all of us physically. And even going to the supermarket or doing grocery, it's really, it's just not enough in terms of the movement that we're getting. So I try to do a lot of that. And, I also tried, my essential is to try to disconnect a little bit from the news when it gets to 7:38 p.m. Because I feel it messes up with my sleep quite a lot, especially in early days. I think we've all had a lot of thoughts on our heads at the beginning of this and how the world was going to change. So I found that disconnecting a little bit from the news gave me the mental sanity to go ahead.
Have you come to any, I guess, realizations either about yourself or the situation in the past few weeks? Any ones that stand out? Let's put it that way.
I guess I can give you like sort of a gut feeling right now, because I don't think any of us has processed yet what is happening. We're still in the midst of it. So there's a lot happening around. And obviously doing news and covering whatever is happening, or trying to give some insights to the industry, means that I have to be exposed to a lot of coverage and content and research. So, I've been exposed to a lot of bad news recently, unfortunately, and I have to portray those to event planners. That's been probably the biggest challenge right now, because there's obviously a lot of people that want good news. It's also, I guess, our responsibility as media organizations and content organizations and give a clear perspective of what is happening and the risks. So we're talking about lives of people attending events.
Yeah.
And so it's a very delicate environment. I guess the realization that I had was more on the ability to, I guess, after doing this for 13 years, you get to a state where you're kind of, you have your routines, you have the things that you do, the products that you do, you try to grow those. But, I've been forced to do a quite dramatic change to the whole operations of the subgroup of EventMB within Skift. Essentially change completely the narrative from one day to another. And, after 13 years, you always think, like, am I going to be able to do dramatic changes like that? I guess we've been able to do it, and I'm very, very happy about it. And, being lucky to have a team and support to do that.
Absolutely. I saw your tweet yesterday about how proud you are of the team, and rightly so, and should be. And it's been fantastic. I don't know if I probably gave some random GIF in response.
I'll probably reply to that.
Exactly. So what are you, you say you're working out. So what are you doing from a wellness perspective, mentally as well as physically? So when you say workout, is it lots of, are you like one of those that is going like live every day and doing like Insta workouts, or is it something?
I don't do live. Thank God, I haven't used social media for business for the past 10 years or so. I keep my personal life very separate, so you won't find a lot of personal on my social media feeds. I don't do those yet. We'll see about that. No, luckily, I was going to a gym here, a local gym, before the crisis, and I was doing some sort of a high-end football training class that I've been doing for a while. And since I was traveling quite a lot, I was sneaking my camera and take videos of the instructor to take it with me. So I have quite a library of those, and those have been useful. Once again, the type of work from home mentality never dies. So sometimes I couldn't afford to go to the gym because I was working from home. So I kind of got the equipment before the crisis hit, then I've been exploring as well, because it's extremely boring to do a class without a class. Once again, I guess reinforcement that once live events will be back, we'll go back with a vengeance, because you will feel the pain of not being able to be around people. It makes a big difference. So I've been trying online classes and stuff like that, different approaches, trying to test new things. It's very tough. That's what I have to say. Very tough. I have to work twice as much here at home compared to a class environment. That's the value of having people around you that push you to do better.
Absolutely.
So that's the pain.
And it's almost like, I agree with that. I think it's also like, if, when you have a personal trainer at the gym versus if you do the same exercises, you're always not going to push yourself to the level that a trainer would probably push you. And I think it is quite the same. Like you'd be like, I'm just going to go take a 5-minute water break. And then you come back like 10 minutes later. But no, absolutely. Okay. So can you give us any recommendations of anything you've been reading, watching, anyone you've been following that's given you some positive vibes or entertainment in these last few months or weeks?
I would highly recommend them now to pick an epidemiologist of choice and follow them on Twitter. Because those are the people right now that are giving the best information, whether it's positive or negative. In most they feel the issue closer than anyone else. They understand it better than anyone else, and they're really able to give you the good news when it's good news and the bad news when it's bad news. I don't necessarily believe in having that sort of uplift kind of constant like positivity when things are kind of crumbling around you. I prefer sort of sort of objective view that kind of celebrates the good news and kind of gives the bad news with context. So that's what I'm trying to follow. And there's people that have been interviewed on CNN and around there I can give you as a follow-up a couple of accounts right there of people that I follow, and always give me the right perspective. Not only here, being Italian, I do follow some in Italy too. So at the very beginning of this, one of my preoccupation was the fact that Italy was the first country to experience something like this. So I've been on France from the very beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's very good advice. I will have to look that up and see who is who you rate as the top ones to follow. So this is an interesting question because, you know, you're all about the virtual world. And do you practice any digital detox?
Not as much as I should. Not as much as I should. Honestly, yeah, it's kind of one of those things. Like, you know, can you? I don't want to make like unfair parallels with people on the field, which most expect. Can you detach yourself from a hospital environment if you're a doctor? Probably not. And you know, my job is to look at whatever is happening constantly to be able to process that and give it back to event planners so they can understand what the news is and sort of balance it. So that's my job right now. That's what I have to do. So I have to look at the news constantly and make sure that we're ahead of the game as well. Thank God, like I tend to rely also like the fact we're within Skift, we have a newsroom. There's a lot of people that whenever you miss something, there's this Slack channel where you know people ping you and give you news of things that have happened.
Cool.
If I do miss something, I can count on my team to support me and share stuff. 90% of the cases I've already seen it, but you know that 10% they help me out with that. Also, I try to get a holiday as well. I try to get like a couple of days, you know, and really try to be away with my mind from the work, even if I'm home. But you know, getting a holiday during these times, if you have the luxury of working days, you know, it's kind of still, you know, yes, I mean, we're lucky that we're working, and you know, I'll be more thankful, especially in our company that laid off people as well. So you know, it's kind of, I feel extremely lucky for that. But at the same stage, you know, the work has increased tenfold, so you got to keep your sanity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that brings me to the perfect question then. If you, you know, you have your holidays and you take those holidays, I guess everything is opening gradually, but in Las Vegas, where's a place that you want to go that has been closed? Where would be the first place?
Very easy one for me where we go to California pretty quickly. That's usually where we go to since 4.5 hours drive. It's very easy and convenient from here. And you know, go by the beach somewhere. Just going by the beach, being Southern Italian, you know, I'm kind of linked to the beach, and so we're feeling that because you know from time to time here, once every couple of months, we do go there for the weekend and stuff like that. It's always nice to you know, get a little bit of fresh air by the sea. So we try to do that as much as we can. So that's been one of the toughest ones on us, I guess, in terms of travel and not being able to do it.
And when we're all allowed to eventually get on a plane again and travel somewhere, where would you like to go?
I would definitely go back to Italy. That would be my first one.
Where in Italy are you from?
I come from Puglia, which is Puglia is
Puglia. Puglia is amazing. I went for a wedding in Puglia, and it was unbelievable. It is so beautiful there. It's unbelievable. It's so underrated, though. I was amazed that you know it's not one of like it's. I personally think it's nicer than Tuscany. If I was gonna organize events there, I think it's amazing. It's so beautiful there. Wow.
It is, and you know, it's probably now the top destination for Italians right now. So a lot of Italians are going there. It's not, and there's a lot of weddings, as you mentioned, like big international weddings. There were people from India flying elephants and stuff like that. So you know, unbelievable, and the royal family from the UK. So a lot of people go there and get married. Because of the scenery, there's you know, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. You know, no, I don't care about that. I'm just gonna go out to give a big group hug to all friends and family. That's, I guess, priority right now, but then it's going to be about the food for sure.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely about the food. The food was incredible. I remember it very well. So my last question, Julius, is any words of advice for us event profs that are in this situation? I mean, obviously this is your job. You have been giving us advice nonstop, but I guess a last word, if you will.
Be informed. Be informed. That's probably the most important and difficult thing right now because there's so much need going around. There's so many. One day everything is over, the next day everything is back up. So it's important to stay on top of what is actually happening and have your sort of key indicators right. Understand what are the things you have to look at. There's an interview we did on EventMB with an epidemiologist that gave us kind of the pointers of what should we look for, what are the things that we have to keep an eye on, and also don't rush it. Don't rush anything right now. Okay, don't go into. I mean, reopening it's fantastic. We do need some examples of reopening as soon as possible in a safe environment and all of that. I appreciate the fact that a lot of us need that to happen as soon as possible. But at the same stage, by the same token, while right now we have an opportunity for a bigger comeback, a stronger comeback later, examples of events that end up with spread and consumer spreaders, that's going to give a major blow to the industry, one that is going to be very tough to recover for quite a while. Yeah. So, while right now we kind of have still the chance, and we have virtual events to count on for as a backup strategy, that it's actually working quite well for a lot of people in terms of both revenue and business opportunities. Consider very well what your next steps are because you don't want to rush anything, and we're seeing the results right now of rushing things in the U.S. with the states are very high in hospitalizations, more than contagion, which is very, very scary. So we have to be still aware and evaluate very well what the scenario is and create a strategy that keeps us safe, keeps our business safe as well, not only the activities, but also our business.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Julius, for taking the time and for being on my chat series. And thank you everyone for watching. No, absolutely. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching as well. Another episode of Eventprofs together at home with Julius and myself. I believe actually, this is obviously news to Julius, but Julius is going to be the last event prof that I interview for this series. Oh, wow. So we're ending it off with a big bang. It's a finale. Obviously, I'm going to continue to make different vlogs on different things related to the event industry from my perspective as an event planner, but I am very, very thankful to have such a wonderful last guest on this series. And thank you all for watching all the episodes of Eventprofs Together at Home and for every single event prof that has been part of this journey with me. It's not over. We're all in this together and we will get through it together. And as Julia says, we're going to come back with a big bang. So yeah, stay positive and catch you later. Bye.